So what's up? This is a new video for the channel. So I'm hyped about BT4. You know what? And I can't hide it. So we're gonna rank every fucking Dragon Ball character ever. And when I say that, I mean this person literally fucking put out anyone that's like arguable. Galvino 2. Look at that cute little cat picture. But, oh boy. So the reason all these are already ranked is because these are the only objective placements on the list. And yes, every single one of these is objective. Kaizenshuu 7, also known as Daijinshuu 7, was released and approved by Toriyama, the person who wrote the story. And it has canon power levels for certain people. For instance, Goku and Tien, when they fought in the tournament, have a power level of 180. This is why 22nd is right here. However, it was stated that after this battle, Goku had almost surpassed Korin, which the Daijinshuu then gives him a power of 190, because it's right there. Cyborg Tao is actually stated to have a power level of 210, which would put him above all three of these fighters. And Krillin has a power level of 220, I believe, which would put him above Cyborg Tao. Kami is actually stated to have gotten weaker in the Saiyan Saga than he was when he fought Piccolo in the 23rd Budokai. Which makes a lot of sense. Goku, when he fought King Piccolo, have a power level, I believe, 250, 260. So which would put them above Krillin and Tao. There are things... We know all of the individual Z Fighters' power levels when they fought Nappa. They were all stronger than Raditz, except for Yamcha and Chaozu. So, these are the only, like, official power levels we have. And we can pretty objectively just put these characters here. Like, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. And I don't really care to argue about these placements. In some of these cases, there's a little bit of debatability. For instance, with Nail, his power was stated to be at least this much, which I believe was 30 to 40,000, which would make him stronger than any... It was stated to be 35, I believe. We can look at it and see if it's in there. I don't remember what these are, but I know from how they're ordered the generality of where they would be. Where's Nail? Yeah, Karin 190. This fits with Goku being 180 at the tournament. Now, I didn't use some of them, because some of them contradict the series, but for, like, Oolong and Poor being 10. But most of these are fine, for the most part. Yeah, like Gregory being 1100. And Goku has an extremely hard time catching him with a battle power of 900 versus Raditz. It makes sense that Gregory would be on the road to surpassing Raditz for Goku to get fast enough to do that. Yeah, Muri, for some reason, has a battle power of 5,000, so, like, Muri is just gonna step up to Nappa for some reason. It's extraordinarily bizarre. This one might not have Nail. Yeah, Nail might be off of another one. But some of them are inconsistent, like Demon King Piccolo being 500. That doesn't make any sense, no matter how you try to stretch it. So. But yeah. There's a few others that are given to us by the series. For instance, in Bardock, the Father of Goku, Bardock was nearly 10,000, based off the statement to King Vegeta. We also know that in the Broly movie, Broly is given a power level of 10,000 at birth, Goku 2. And then in the new Broly movie, like the random dude has 2,000, Broly has like 900 casually. The movie 6 pamphlet is the one that's the most inconsistent, that's why I'm not using those. Because it states that, like, yeah, Emperor Pilaf has a power level of 40 and Shu and Mai are stronger than Goku, like, no. But, for instance, we do know certain power levels. Goku with Blaze, Goku without. Goku using the Kamehameha at his full power reaches 900. but he's still weaker than Raditz at 15. We're also just given some blatant power level readings. Goku is stated to be over 8,000, which would put him above Mori and Nappa. Krillin and Gohan are stated to be approaching Saiyan Saga Vegeta's level when they're given the Guru boost, but they're not quite there, and they're still struggling with Goldo. So it's more like Goku is probably way closer to him. Kui is closer to Vegeta, but then Vegeta can actually surpass the 18,000 with the Gallic Gun. So like, these are all these placements. And I think this is pretty fine. I don't think many people are going to argue about this. People are going to be like salty about like Grade 8 Vegeta being this high. Or like Goku times 4 with the Kaioken being this high. But, I mean, what are you going to do? But we've got all the characters here. So, Goku starts off the list with power level of 10. Pretty strong. But in verse, it just kind of comes down to who can beat him or not. Yamcha does well against him, but this is Goku when he's hungry, so it'd probably be more like a power level of 9 or 8 if you want to be pedantic. Krillin doesn't do very good against this Goku, but this Goku is also healthy, so you could do this if you wanted to, but Yamcha looks better. Yamcha also has like the feat of putting him through the pillar, which is like for what are they called? Like for Calc Goons, that's like the first actual feat in Dragon Ball. And then we just immediately go to the 21st Budokai. Yamcha is extremely confident in the Budokai he can beat this Goku, but he gets completely folded by Master Roshi. Bacterian actually was bodying Krillin, who had become a training rival for Goku. But this was with like a gag power, so I don't know if he would honestly beat Yamcha or not. But I think he would. Krillin obviously beat him once he realized he didn't have a nose. So, Giran actually gave Goku some trouble, though. So I'm going to put Giran... Giran gave Goku, like, a tiny amount of trouble, whereas Krillin had an exchange with Master Roshi. So I think I'll actually put Giran here. And then Giran can fly, so he wouldn't be... Bacterian wouldn't beat him. Goku obviously is stronger at this point because he squares up to Jackie Chun. And although he loses... See, this is the weird thing. This is why power levels have to be super, super small at the beginning of the series. Is because we know that Goku... Look, I'm just gonna have to put it off rip like this, okay, right? Wherever you think non-prime King Piccolo goes, Roshi goes there. And we know that the Great Ape is weaker than Roshi because Roshi was going to kill it. That's what everyone thought. But we know Roshi at max power has to be weaker than old King Piccolo. So, it's like that. If you try to use some like weird power level argument though, you can have Roshi like solo the Saiyan Saga. Or, like, at least body Raditz, but I don't really buy that scaling, so. For now, this is fine. Colonel Silver. So I actually had to look up the Muscle Tower goons for this video. He's able to run up on this Goku and snatch the radar out of his hands before he can realize what's happening, but then Goku just punches him and beats him. So I'm gonna say that, like, low-key, he's probably, like, stronger than Krillin the first time, but yeah, I don't know what else. I believe during the Red Ribbon arc, Goku, like, has to use the Kamehameha against him, which would make him strong, and then against Bouillon, he, like, doesn't. I could be mistaken on that. Android Ader, though, is just straight up stronger than Goku at this point. And considering Goku is like okay with just saying, yeah, he's straight up stronger than me, that would probably put him higher than this Jackie Chun. General White, similarly, is literally just like a dude. And unlike him, who has like this weird speed feat and is like able to just punch around like 4 boxers at a time in the anime, He's just like a dude, so he's buff, I guess. But yeah, Krillin doesn't have any superhuman weird stuff, so like these three are fine. Octopapa, I believe, also similarly required the Kamehameha and like has limbs, I guess. I'm just gonna be real with you and say I have no clue what the pirate robots did. Bora is like a super buff dude though. I'm gonna put him above Colonel Silver. General Tao. General Tao comes out and beats the fuck out of this Goku. So bad that he actually makes this Goku like go through a little mini training arc climbing Korin Tower. So then Goku climbs Korin Tower, gets the training water, and beats Tao up. I don't really know where Baba goes, to be frank. Now, if we're basing her off of the fact that she has her army, like if that's how we're scaling her, like scaling Kabuto with the Edo Tensei, you can make a case that she has Grandpa Gohan, who was able to give this Goku a good fight, so I'd honestly put it like right here. I don't have a problem with that. Yamcha in the 22nd is like impossible to scale. All he does is get his leg broken by Tien. But like, I don't know, early on they're not all like incredibly far apart. You could make the case he's just like not lagging that far behind. The strongest argument for Yamcha is usually that he's always confident he can take the like last version of Goku he saw, but that he just can't keep up. Still, he is able to use like the Kamehameha now, and whenever one of the children of Piccolo show up and is looking for tournament fighters, he's like confident that he can scrap. I think against Tambourine, and him and Tambourine almost like go at it, and that's like, he can't be like infinitely weaker than Tien at this point. I think I would put him right here above Chi-Chi. Because Chi-Chi has a power level of 120, Shin has a power level of 110, he has a power level of 100. Man Wolf, I forgot about this guy. Bro, I got no clue where he's gonna go though. All he does is just get beat up by Jackie Chun, like Master Roshi. He probably like beats T-Squid and stuff. Chaozu at the 22nd Budokai was able to force Krillin to use the Kamehameha. And we know that Krillin was able to have a good fight against suppressed Goku. And I'm just going to be honest and say that I value that more than Yamcha. Krillin won. Tambourine, however, came out and bodied Krillin. However, we do know that Goku and Tien at full power can take Tambourine. Because Goku gets recovered and then is able to beat Tambourine. Now, you could argue that for Goku specifically, he's Zenkai'd, but this doesn't really... He just doesn't get Zenkai's that much in early Dragon Ball. But I'm still fine with putting him below. Yajirobe comes out, and Goku makes a direct statement that he's the toughest person he's ever fought, or ever met, which would make him stronger than Tien. I know a lot of people hate that just because Yajirobe's like fat and ugly, but it's just how it works. Gotta drink some water. So, like, I know I just took that one statement and just ran with it really bluntly. But, like, you'll notice, like, in my Bleach video, I'm like, oh, well, Bargain's actually got this, like, super amazing hacks and, like, this weird speed statement and whatever. Or in Naruto, I'm like, well, you know, like, Sasuke's just got all these hacks or whatever, but, like, no, this is Dragon Ball. If someone says someone's stronger, they are. And if someone is stronger, they win. So, this is why I was okay with doing all these characters, because, like, man, this shit's easy. Symbol was another son of Piccolo, but his only feat is getting bodied by Yajirobe. So I just put him right below Tambourine. We know that Sybil was sent out to do the same thing as Tambourine, so they should be relative. Master Muta Ito, according to Master Roshi, he never surpassed him, at least at this point. So it just means wherever you put Roshi, you put Master Muta Ito above. And you would still put Old King Piccolo above Master Muta Ito. Now, this feels weird, but it's just kind of how it is. It looks so goofy having Cyborg Tao above, like, King Piccolo, though. Drum, however, was spat out and was bodying Tien after that. So we know that this would probably go above Yajirobe, Tien, and Goku. And, like, suppressed, like, not buff Roshi. You'd probably be above that caliber fighter. Now, I know that Korin is only 10 power level higher than Tien and Goku, but the reason I'm not that confident about putting Drum above Korin is because the difference in power level between Vegeta and Dodoria is, like, literally, like, 17% or something like that. Like, not even 1,000 power level, and he's able to just completely and utterly demolish Dodoria. So, like, there's, like, a super infamous, like, laughingstock media video where he says that Goku Black is, like, 1.2 to 2 times stronger. And, like, deadass in Dragon Ball, if you're just, like, 0.17 stronger than someone, you can literally just tank anything they do. So, I still think Korin would probably beat Drum. But, yeah. Yamcha, the 23rd Budokai, again has no feats because he only loses in the first round. Oh, poor Yamcha. Where would we put him, though? He was kind of able to, like, off-guard Kami while he was hiding in Hero. So, I don't think he's infinitely weaker than Kami. Because if you're 0.17 times stronger than someone, you body them, so I'm going to put him, like, at least up here in the Budokai area. But yeah. Tien also should go right here, and I would argue that he actually would go right here. Tien makes a super weird statement that he thinks that if Goku just didn't get any faster, that he would win. He's like, you might have gotten stronger since then, but I'm faster. And then he just gets beat up by Goku. So I'd put him, like, probably right there. Again, Hero is, like, implied to be Kami, but, like, somewhat suppressed. And he's able to, like, somewhat scrap up to Piccolo. Obviously, it doesn't work, but... Oh, shit. I got caught off guard by my alarm. I've been doing this for 20 minutes. I'm not redoing that. But he's able to scrap up to, like, Piccolo, and then... Yeah, he's got to at least be there. Not to mention that it's been, I believe, 3 years Goku trains on Kami's Lookout, so Hero could just be stronger during that span of time. So that's perfectly fine. But if that's the case... If that's the case, I'd probably put these two above this Chiaotzu. Because these two are up here for scaling to this Goku who's like power level 900, this Chiaotzu's like 600. And like I said, if you're 0.17 times stronger, you just tank someone, so they probably have to be stronger than this Chiaotzu. Gohan is a grade 8. Gohan, when he fought Raditz, had a power level of 1300. Which means that if you multiply it by 10, that is... Well, that'd be 10,000. Yeah, 11,000, so... He beats this Goku. It's pretty impressive. King Gamma was able to, like, just body Raditz, so... He's at least there. The Frieza soldiers are at least 2,000 each, unless otherwise stated, and Raditz is 1,500, though. So I would wedge King Gamma in there. These are Frieza's reconnaissance soldiers, who are specifically stated to be weaker than Raditz, and have like power levels of like only 1,000 something. It was still higher than Yamcha. I think it's like 15, not 15, like 14, 50, some weird number that's like super specific. Krillin, when he had the Spirit Bomb. I mean, Goku was like super confident it could take Vegeta. Like, so maybe he's here. Nah. Goku seems to think the Spirit Bomb is like still a resort, like an attack stronger than his Kaioken. When the Kaioken times 4 just does not work against Grade 8 Vegeta. So like this is probably fine. It looks super weird though. Like we said, Bardock was thought to be surpassing King Vegeta, or nearly at the level of King Vegeta. Then in the special, he gets his ass beat, gets his Zenkai, so he's probably over 10,000. But still quantifiably, 10,000 still isn't 11, so he would lose to this Gohan. But Nan was able to give a Bardock that almost had 10,000 some trouble. Goku is only stated to be over 8,000, so Banan would probably be stronger than this Goku. So this is Krillin that arrived on Namek and like got beat up by, I want to say, Zarbon. He really doesn't have any feats over this Krillin. But he did do some training. But he was still weaker than when he got his potential unleashed, so he would just be like probably here, because like all these two are relative. So he'd probably be above them. Zarbon, when transformed, obviously is stronger than Zarbon, and just absolutely annihilates this Vegeta. However, Vegeta gets his Zenkai and annihilates Zarbon. Dende? I don't know where Dende goes, to be frank. He gets his power level unleashed, like, and he's able to fly. I just don't know where he would go. Dude, if this is all Dende's, though, like, Dende is kind of strong. He's, like, at least planetary. Wherever you think planetary is in Dragon Ball. Because he's able to wish back planets and stuff like that. Who's the first planetary character in Dragon Ball? I mean, if you're like hard-ass about it, Roshi is the first planetary character. But Dende's like doing it casually, so I would put Dende right there. Guldo is explicitly, he has like a power level of whatever, but he was still giving these two trouble. So I don't really buy the whole like... Guldo is like the one exception to the like the hard power level limit rule, because he was explicitly giving people with a higher power level than him trouble, and Vegeta had to step in and help them against Guldo. Chaozu beat him. Recoome then came in and absolutely annihilated post Zenkai Vegeta. However, we don't know if his power level is 30,000 plus. So all we can say is he annihilated this Vegeta horribly. Picked him like a vegetable. So this is Jace. This is Jeice. Now, Birder is probably the strongest non-Ginyu member. However, in video games, it's implied that Recoome is the strongest, Birder's the fastest, and then Jace is just Australian. So, if going off that, the list would look like this. Not to mention Jace and Birder are, like, are just kind of looking down on Vegeta, making fun of him the whole fight. So they're definitely above this Vegeta. Jace versus Recoome is weird, but I'm just going to give it to Recoome because of how the game applied. Not to mention the moment that Jace sees Recoome go down, they both try to tag team Goku. So they're not, like, confident they can do it instead. He intentionally left Birder off the list, and I'm assuming it's because of that fastest in the universe statement. He didn't want people putting Birder above Dispo. So, but yeah, Birder would be above Recoome because of that statement. Tien bodied the both of them. Well, he didn't body Raccoon, but he bodied Jason Birder, so. This is Vegeta versus First Form Frieza. Where is First Form Frieza? Yeah, because he has a statement that Gohan and Krillin are almost as strong as him whenever he's squaring up to First Form Frieza. And he's like extremely confident he can beat him. And Frieza does transform. Now, I don't necessarily buy that last point because of the fact that Frieza transforms to make battles easier for himself. Not necessarily because he can't win them, so I don't buy that point. Vegeta's confidence is also shaky, so we'll put him right below Frieza. Gohan was able to temporarily become stronger than Second Form Frieza. At least the suppressed Frieza that was like fighting Piccolo. And he made Frieza get serious for a second, so. Frieza in his third form is able to just come out and tank whatever they can do against him. However, it is implied that Vegeta was going to be above this third form. It's kind of shaky, but Vegeta, after feeling second and third form, is like extremely confident he can fight Frieza. I mean, we've seen how well that's gone before, but it's still something. And then this Goku actually comes out and actually squares up, so he's just directly above Vegeta. Goku values the Spirit Bomb more than Kaioken, but it still doesn't beat Frieza. Garlic Jr. This is one of the weirder ones. So he pretty confidently like beats up this Gohan and Piccolo and Krillin. But there's like a weird meme argument that Garlic Jr. opened like an interdimensional black hole. So Garlic Jr. is like 5D and scales above the Tournament of Power and stuff. I'm not gonna go with that. Just because that's like too silly for me. But he bodied this Gohan and Frieza and Piccolo. And there's even like a moment in the fight where Gohan like gets super enraged and it doesn't work, so. I think above this Gohan and Frieza is perfectly fine. He's seen as a threat because Goku isn't there. So. Trunks has a power level of 5, which is a normal human. But he has a sword, so he probably beats General White. Mecha Trunks comes out, and he's like a Super Saiyan. And he just like bodies Frieza too. But the difference is that Mecha Frieza is actually stated to be stronger than full power 100% Frieza. And in the anime at least, Goku has like some trouble with that Frieza, but this Trunks just slices and dices that Frieza. So I think future Trunks should actually kind of start the next tier. But maybe you don't think so, because he like doesn't do anything to the androids. So either here or here. But something to note is the tiers are extremely subjective. Like these two get bodied by Krillin, who gets bodied by these goons, who get bodied by Goku, who loses to Jackie Chun. So the tiers aren't separations of like who gets bodied by who, because there's too many. Like, dude, just look at this. Dodoria gets bodied by Zarbon, who gets bodied by Vegeta, who gets bodied by Zarbon, who gets bodied by Vegeta, who gets bodied by Raccoon, who gets bodied by Goku. There's way too many of these to actually do a tier for each level. There would be like unironically like 100 tiers. So, that's not too important. Goku trained for 3 years and got hella strong. That's all we can say, really. But he was beating this android's ass, but he lost. Now, this is the hottest take of the video, I think. I actually do think Vegeta surpassed Goku here. Just because the story is like, he might have surpassed Goku. And the emphasis is that he gets his ass beat by 18, and when Goku awakens, he's like, yeah, I've got to train. So he doesn't like think that just because he's stronger or whatever, he can do anything. Android 20 is stronger than Android 19, but still weaker than these two, because he was like shocked at these two's levels of power. Piccolo was winning against him. Android 18 beat Vegeta. Android 17 is stated to be stronger in certain guides. Piccolo fuses with them and is able to have a pitched fight with 17. However, I have to say that 17 would have won. I know it feels bad. I love Piccolo, but like, literally, he has infinite stamina, infinite energy. I don't know how on earth you're supposed to win that battle, so. By the way, I gotta say, Android 17 Piccolo is one of my favorite fights in the series. That shit's raw. That shit's goated. Imperfect Cell comes out and is able to body 17. He actually bodies Piccolo worse, but that's because Piccolo is tired. But he still does, like, annihilate 17. But his initial appearance, he was actually weaker, to the point where I think he's more, like, above these guys, but weaker than these guys. Android 16 comes in and starts dunking on Cell. Now, this is interesting. Android 16 has infinite energy, so it's not like the Battle of Stamina matters. But Cell has regen. Going off that, though, I would still go with 16. Literally face tanked him. You saw the fight. Now, this one's interesting, but I believe it is explicitly stated that Vegeta is still slightly stronger than Trunks. So I would go with that. Mr. Satan... Mr. Satan is actually not a normal human, as weird as that sounds. You might be surprised to hear that, but Mr. Satan is, like, not actually a normal human. He's able to pull, like, 30 buses in the anime and break through, like, 30 concrete tiles with a single punch. Not to mention, he's able to tank a hand from Cell. He's able to get hit by Boo. And in the GT anime, he's able to take a drop kick from Omega Shenron. So, like, Mr. Satan is just, like, really tough, like, durability-wise, and then decently strong for a human. So I'm honestly gonna say, like, these, like, normal humans, he's just gonna run up and punch them. Which is really funny. Goku versus Cell. Strongest character on the list so far, for sure. So this is what gets into the idea that they went back into the hyperbolic time chamber. Trunks is, like, shocked at the progress Piccolo made. Vegeta, or Trunks obviously got stronger, so these two are, like, sort of relative and weird, but Vegeta's slightly stronger, so if they all got stronger, Trunks would be at least stronger than him. Not to mention Piccolo is doing the best outside of Vegeta and Goku, so that makes a lot of sense against the Cell Juniors. Krillin's only feat during the Cell Junior debacle is just getting his ass beat. He doesn't have any feats in the Android arc. In the anime, he's able to, like, headbutt Cell while he's still, like, weaker than these guys. So I'd probably put him here. Being able to headbutt this Cell is still better than anything we've seen these guys do. Tien and Cell arc. So he's able to, like, push down semi-perfect Cell with the Neo Tri-Beam, which is something that we actually just don't see Android 16 do. So you could do this, but then we saw that in a fight he got bodied by 17. So he's more so also earlier on, he's, like, watching these guys fight and he's like, oh my god, how is Goku so strong? So it's more like he's got, like, a super good technique, but he's actually kind of bad in fight. I'd put him more above Krillin at this point. Yamcha got nothing, bruh. I mean, no. In the anime, he was shown bodying Raccoon. So, he'd be, like, here. God, he's so low compared to everyone else. Cell Jr. comes out and is, like, beating Goku's ass. Stated to be as strong as Perfect Cell. So, Gohan comes out and beats their asses. Now, this one is, like, super ultimate, like, what do you think? But I honestly think Gohan's still stronger than Super Perfect Cell. I know that's kind of weird, but Gohan is, like, injured and already kind of fatigued. And then Super Perfect Cell comes out and is still having a clash with him. So, like, if Gohan wasn't, he probably would have won. But, yeah. Cell Juniors being a perfect cell level basically just comes down to Cell has 2 levels of perfect cell. He has the level he fought Goku at, which is what the Cell Juniors are, and then he powers up to full against Gohan and gets his ass beat. And then he comes back as super perfect cell. So he's got 3 perfect levels. This is the weakest one. This is like him at full power, and this is like amped super perfect cell. Libu comes out and is able to give Pikkon a good fight. And this is important because Pikkon comes out and like one-shot super perfect cell. Goku versus Pikkon. This is literally Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, but it's Goku. Now you could actually use that to say that this Gohan should still be above these guys. Because this Goku and Super Saiyan 1 Gohan, when they're Mastered Super Saiyan, are actually equal in power. And if you want to imply that Gohan had a rage boost, and he couldn't beat Super Perfect Cell, but Pikkon could one-shot him, then you could use that to say that, like, maybe Super Perfect Cell would be stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Goku at the Cell games. It's kind of weird, which I don't really have a problem with. But the problem is he got beat up by Pikkon either way. This does take place after the fact, though, so you could use that to explain that these guys just trained after this happened. So, I don't have a problem with that. Goten and Trunks. Oh no. People hate these two when it comes to scaling. Alright, so Goten and Trunks. Goten is stated to be exactly as strong as Gohan when they're both Super Saiyan. So if you think that Gohan isn't rusty, it means Goten literally just goes right here. If you think Gohan is rusty, though, it's kind of vague, but we know that Goten and Trunks fusing and going Super Saiyan 3 is comparable to Goku. So it would mean that Goten is like a fusion level down from like base Goku. But we're also just going to be super charitable and say that this is initial Goten. And then we know in Super that they're able to fight Cell Juniors. So, since Trunks beat Goten in their fight and is stated to be stronger on multiple occasions, Goten is the low ball, Trunks is the high ball. Vidal's like stated on numerous occasions to be stronger than Mr. Satan. Spopovich beat her up though. Shin is super funky though. So Shin is just like explicitly stated to be as strong as the Goku that fought Cell. Which is supported by the fact that like Super Saiyan 2 Goku was just gonna blast his ass and murder him. Shin also thinks he can't do anything to people like Dabura and Buu, which would be consistent with Dabura only scaling to like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Shin also like intimidated the hell out of Piccolo, and if you don't use the Dabura feat with Piccolo, then Piccolo would be right here. So it would also be consistent for Shin to be above this Piccolo, to the extent that this Goku was above this Vegeta and this Piccolo. If this is the case, he probably loses to Goku, because Goku has like an insane kit of like instant transmission, being like the best martial artist in the universe, all that stuff, but he still probably beats Goten, who's just like a kid. Kibito, I got no clue where Kibito goes. His only feat is taking a fat L from Dabura. Probably beats a Pyro Robot. Similarly, these guys are all the Supreme Kais. The highball for these guys is just to say that they were Supreme Kais too. So they would just go with Shin. Babidi is super funky. Now we actually have Majin Vegeta, Dabura, and Majin Buu, so I'm not going to put him on here like I did Baba. But his only feat is that he can, like, influence people, but, like, Vegeta was able to resist his control, so even then we just don't know where he scales to, but I guess the limiter is that this Piccolo is able to just beat him up, so he's probably like or semi-perfect cell level. If that's his limiter. That makes some sense. Dabura stated to be exactly strong as Cell. This would most likely be referring to semi-perfect Cell. However, if Dabura and semi-perfect Cell are the same level, because we don't know about how much. And yeah, I'm saying it super differently because this is like a really hot topic. If Cell and Dabura are relative enough in power to fight, Cell bodies him because of his abilities. But if Dabura is explicitly stronger, he's explicitly stronger. I'm going to put it like this, though. I do think that Gohan, at full power and, like, using his emotions, is stronger than when he was a teenager, though. This is because Gohan either stagnated, and he was the exact same level when he was training with Goten, and then trained and got stronger, or he's just the exact same. But more than likely, he was the exact same level when he trained with Goten, and then he trained and got stronger than he was when he was a teenager. Goku just comes out and is stronger. It also makes sense for him to be above this Goku, because this Goku is literally just Super Saiyan 2. This is Super Saiyan 2 after training for like 7 years. Vegeta came out and was able to match him pretty well. They're both above these two Gohans for sure, though, by Vegeta's own statements. There's even some statements prior in the arc that, like, Pui Pui was like a threat to the Supreme Kai, and base Vegeta just touches his titties. So, even, like, base Vegeta is probably, like, mastered Super Saiyan Goku level at least. So it kind of makes sense for, like, Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta to, like, be this high. Majin Buu just comes out and starts duking on them, though. Goku thinks he could have beaten him. Evil Buu is like half of Buu, or the evil half of Buu, so. Gotenks came out and was weaker than Buu. This is actually because of the fact that Buu was suppressed during the fight and was just stalling for time waiting for Gohan to show up. And not to mention, we saw that Super Buu has the capability to absorb Gotenks. So, in a fight, he would more than likely catch Gotenks off guard and absorb him anyways. Because we saw that Gotenks had just fused and was like at full power when Buu absorbed him, so. Yeah. But Super Buu was absorbed Piccolo as well when he absorbed Buu, or Gohan, so maybe he just can't. But more than likely this. Yeah. Gohan comes in, he calls Super Buu a no-no word, and just bullies him, and then gets beat up and, like, literally bullied by Super Buu. He's like, I can feel Goten inside me. He's disappointed to be your brother. And it's just like, oh my god. It's like the worst scene in the series. My boy Gohan got done so dirty. He's talking about like how Piccolo is disappointed in him and all that trash talk. It's amazing. Super Buu got his ass beat by Gohan. Super Buu was stronger than Gotenks. And then Goku's only thing is that he's like, well, I could have beaten Fat Buu. But whenever he sees like Super Buu, he's like, still like, I think Gohan needs to handle this. And even though he could go Super Saiyan 3, so it's more like he still probably is conceding to like Gohan and Super Buu. And because Gotenks was able to fight the Super Buu at all, these two are really comparable. But I'm just going to give it to this Gotenks. Not to mention the Goku that fought Majin Buu has a very short time limit being on Earth. So even though he's confident he could have quickly took care of Buu, we don't know if he can quickly take care of these three. So Tien was able to deflect one of Super Boo's Ki Blasts. But hilariously enough, in Dragon Ball, you can actually catch Ki Blasts off guard. Which is, like, super funny. I got no clue where Tien goes outside of that, though. So, we're just going to put him above Semi-Perfect Cell. Or above Android 16. Super Buu is stronger when he absorbed Gohan than Gotenks, because Gohan is stronger than Buu, who's stronger than Gotenks. Kind of obvious, but like, you'd be surprised. Vegito comes in, slaps his cheeks. Now here's the debatable one, right? It's Kid Buu versus Buuhan. Now Kid Buu is, like, without question stronger than Super Buu. That's not even up for debate. But there are some statements that Kid Buu is weaker than, like, Gotenks and Gohan. Goku thinks that instead of him fighting in Super Saiyan 3, if they bring Gohan and Gotenks, that'll solve everything. So there's, like, that to kind of downplay it, but then Buu is stated to be the strongest, and Goku and Buu are stated to be the strongest in the anime. If we're using Pikkon, we're using the anime, so it means Kid Buu is stronger than Buuhan. But being stronger than Buuhan doesn't make you stronger than Vegito. Goku was on the losing end of that battle. Man, rating this Majin Buu is really weird. Because this Buu starts off and he's only vaguely stronger than these group of characters, and then he gets stronger over time. Spits out the evil in him, and then that evil becomes Super Buu, which is stronger. So this is like kind of like weaker than Super Buu and Majin Buu. And his only thing is just getting his ass beat by Buu, so it kind of makes sense. You know, for the sake of having the Android one not being so bloated, I think that we're gonna do it like this. Just so that the Android tier isn't so bloated. Oh, Goku versus Beerus. Okay, so he was just trained vaguely stronger than this Goku. So, like, he could probably beat up this Buu. He's probably stronger than this Vegito. The reason I still think Vegito, even if Buuhan is weaker than Kid Buu and Goku, is still stronger than these two, is because Super Buu gets like a Gohan Rage Amp and is like universal or whatever, and like Vegito just kicks it away and is like, stop throwing a temper tantrum. And Vegito isn't even like pressed, and Vegito can still go like Super Saiyan 3, so I don't know. That's definitely above here. I guess Goku can probably only be there. Majin Buu versus Beerus. I mean, he does better than Goku does, I guess. We're gonna use this as the high ball that Piccolo thought he could take to Bora, so he'd be stronger than, like, Perfect Cell. Tien is just, like, charges Beerus and gets taken care of, like Piccolo. That's all we know. So, Gotenks actually does get weaker over time though, because he gets rusty. So I guess he'd just be right here, but we just don't know how much weaker he got. Vegeta, when he fought Beerus, though, is explicitly the strongest out of everyone who fought Beerus, so it's pretty clear. So Beerus is going to go higher. Beerus is a lot stronger than when he fought Goku. But Goku cliffs the Super Saiyan God Goku, even the ritual one, is another level to Z. And Goku did absorb the God Essence. This is now pretty much confirmed in the anime. But yeah, super, like, red-haired Goku can literally take everyone on the list below him at the same time and win. You can just throw a Kamehameha and vaporize all of them. Like, the shockwaves that he was having with Beerus when he punched, like, not even his punches, but, like, the shockwaves were going to eradicate the universe. So, yeah, this Goku cliffs hard. This is honestly the highest cliff, I think, between arcs. Because, like, these guys are scaling off Cell, and, like, the androids are scaling off Frieza. And, like, these two are scaling off Vegeta, and Raditz is, like, scaling off Goku, but, like, nah, he's in another... Like, if you want me to be real about it, there's kind of, like, just a dead space, where there's just, like, an entire different level between Super and everyone in here. If you want me to be real. Jocko is able to, like, fight Frieza soldiers, like normal Frieza soldiers, so he's, like, here, above a pool. So, like, these guys have, like, 2 something, a pool's 2,000, Jocko's able to beat them. But he doesn't have, like, Destructive Disc or Neo Tri-Beam, he's just got, like, a gun. Krillin in Resurrection F is actually rusty. He's, like, performing worse than Tien. He's just rusty to this Krillin. Tien is similarly outperforming him, so he'd probably be stronger than he was here. Roshi is actually fighting Frieza soldiers. And he's actually got abilities, so I'm going to put him, like, at the top of these 4. Gohan in Resurrection F. This is one of the more cancerous scalings ever. Essentially, it's worth noting that Gohan lost his Ultimate form, but that he's almost as strong as he was in Ultimate. So what this means is that this Gohan in base is, like, relative but weaker than this Gohan, and then can go Super Saiyan. So, like, low-key, it's kind of here, kind of nuts. Golden Frieza comes in and beats Goku's ass until he transforms into blue. Goku is actually equal to him. Sorbet has, like, a beam that can kill Goku, but he's just, like, stated to be, like, a normal Frieza soldier. He'd probably be above a pool. And you know what? That beam would probably kill Jocko, because they're both, like, beam fighters. When Vegeta comes in, it's his moment to shine, and he beats Frieza down worse than Goku did. I'm just going to give it to Vegeta. Vegeta never gets any dubs, so I'm just going to be really nice to Vegeta here. Champa was, like, fighting Beerus. Vados used to be stronger than Whis, and Whis makes a statement that he trained, so he thinks he's stronger now. Botama was taking blows from Goku, even though he got ringed out. So, like, realistically, this Goku can't hurt Botamo. It's just that every time they've encountered Botamo, they've been in a ring where they can knock him out. So, we know that he would at least body this Goku. Frost actually put up a good fight against Base Goku, instead of just being, like, immortal. Auto Magetta forced Vegeta to use the full power of his Super Saiyan transformation. Kaba did not, but Kaba was, like, Base Goku level. Well, Base Goku is still pretty bad. But Kaba doesn't have abilities, so he would lose to this Goku. Then we see Kaba in Super Saiyan gets one shot by Super Saiyan Vegeta, who's able to beat Auto Magetta. This is because Kaba awakens Super Saiyan, but Vegeta is able to use Mastered Super Saiyan, which is a higher transformation multiplier. essentially Goku goes 50 times stronger to beat Frieza, that's Super Saiyan. And then Grade 2 goes from being weaker than 18 and Imperfect Cell and Semi-Perfect Cell. So it's probably 3 times, and then Mastered Super Saiyan is way stronger than that. So, like, it's probably 150 times base instead, at least, but it could be as high as 1,050 times base, depending on how you stretch it with 10 times things, but it just means Cabba would be capable of beating up Frost, but not Vegeta. Hit comes in and bodies this Vegeta. Goku surpasses him with Kaioken. Gowasu. So he's this universe's Supreme Kai. So I guess you could just say he's the Supreme Kai. Zamasu comes in though and is able to fight Super Saiyan 2 Goku. And although he's losing, he's doing well. Which I would value above Super Saiyan 1 Vegeta. Goku Black also comes in and does this, but then he just gets stronger from there. Goku when he fought Goku Black. Now this is super weird because alright, we're gonna put it, and we'll come back to it. This is super weird. Super is like one of the only parts of Dragon Ball that has convoluted scaling. But I need to put these in here first and then explain it, otherwise it won't make any sense. So this is super funky, but essentially Goku Black comes in and is able to force them... Where did I put Rose? Where did Rose go? Rose on the list? Oh, he accidentally fell down here. Okay. This is because Goku Black comes in Rose and is able to body this Goku and Vegeta who have to get stronger. So, if you want to say that, like, well, Goku Black was, like, able to initially force them out of this level, then they climb to another level, and that's where Vegeta beats him up, that's fine. And if you want to say that, like, this would be how this climb works. However, Goku and Vegeta are actually able to, like, damage Fuse Zamasu, which is stronger than Goku Black with the Scythe. They're like, Saiyans have no limits, full power, and then they kick the, like, ring off of Zamasu, so they're actually surprisingly strong, even without fusing. Then they fuse and lose to Fuse Zamasu, and then Future Trunks comes in with the plot sword and beats up Fuse Zamasu, so... But, like, I do think the jump from, like, here to here is actually a lot bigger than people think. But Goku was explicitly weaker than Vegeta during the Black Arc, because Goku learned how to do the Mafuba, and then Vegeta went and trained for like half a year in the Time Chamber, and was like super pissed off, so that would be how this little chain goes. Vegeta blue in the manga. It's just stated to be stronger than Beerus. Zeno is just like... Right now, he's not even portrayed to be, like, a goal. He's just, like... He's just not even on the same level. He's, like, a plot device to, like, ensure everyone else, like, behaves. Grand Priest is implied to be stronger than Whis. This one fought Majin Buu. And he was beating him up for a good bit, so he'd be, like, just relative to this Buu. This Lavender actually managed to tie this Gohan, but this Gohan had been doing some amount of training beforehand, so he would just beat the Gohan from Resurrection F. Bergamo came out and was able to absorb Goku's blue energy and forced him to use the blue Kaioken However, it's kind of implied Goku wasn't going all out there because of the fact that he didn't want to actually hurt him. But the Zeno said that if you hold back, we'll destroy your universe anyways. If you look at it more like Basil and Lavender down there, then it doesn't make sense for him to be all the way up here. But then they're all able to clash and kind of fight side by side in the tournament, so there's some weirdness. He's probably here at least, though. Tien in the tournament. I'm just going to be real with you, I don't know what Tien did, but he fought characters that can fight Goku, so he's not infinitely weaker. Caulifla is stronger than Cabba base to base. Kale is like weaker, but she still can't be infinitely lower because she only transforms into like her Super Saiyan form and is stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla. The Broly transformation is probably stronger. She doesn't have Broly Super Saiyan, but if you want to use that as like a basis, we know that in Second Coming, he goes from like being weaker than Super Saiyan Gohan in base. No, he's base Gohan is like swapping with Super Saiyan Broly, and then Broly transforms, and body Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So the transformation just could be massive, but she's still implied to be like with them, even in base. So Caulifla is just stronger than him as a Super Saiyan shown. They were said to train and get stronger, so they'd be at least there. The Triangle Danger Beam is definitely blue level, though. The Triangle Danger Beam actually did make Goku and Vegeta work together. It was that strong. And then Bergamo was like blue level, but blue level's above this Goku Black. Krillin in the Tournament of Power is really weird to scale. Android 18 has a feat of like fighting next to like Super Saiyan Vegeta. And Krillin outdoes 18 blatantly early on. So Krillin is either like somewhere here or above 18. But more than likely he's somewhere up here, and we'll get back to it. Roshi similarly was able to fight Frost. Fight on par with and seal him. Just willing to put him above Batamo, because he's got the ability to seal someone, so he doesn't need to like actually damage Batamo. This is the Goku Blue that fought Jiren. Okay, so yeah, this Goku. The Super Spirit Bomb is something that he values more than Kaioken. And it's amassed from fighters like Frieza and Vegeta, Android 17, Android 18, Ultimate Gohan, like Tournament of Power Gohan. Just an insanely powerful amount of people. And he considers it stronger than himself. We don't know if that's the same as a fusion level increase, though, because Vegito is as strong as Blue Goku in base, and then can stack Blue on top of that. So, as weird as it sounds, I actually don't know if this Spirit Bomb would kill Zamasu. So, it's kind of weird. MUI Goku, though, is just the next level. This is because Jiren is explicitly stated to be the strongest villain they've ever faced, which would include Fused Zamasu. More than likely Infinite Zamasu as well. And then, that's while he's suppressed. And then, they're able to fight and have a pitched fight now that Goku has entered Ultra Instinct. But it's implied that at the time that Infinite Zamasu came out, they needed someone next level like Whis or Beerus to get rid of him. But Omen Goku would probably be stronger than Infinite Zamasu. Hit came out and just did better than the Spirit Bomb against Jiren. You can argue he did better than Omen 1 against Jiren if you want to be like super Hit, but yeah, he did better than the Spirit Bomb at the very least. Caulifla and Super Saiyan 2. Just be above Vegeta. We don't know if Super Saiyan 2 is better than Mastered Super Saiyan. But if you just want to be generous and say it is, it is. Yeah, put her above above Zamasu because he's like losing to a Super Saiyan 2. It's oversimplified, but Kale in Super Saiyan is stronger than Caulifla Super Saiyan 2 though. Then they fuse, and Kefla is able to like push Goku blue. No, a Super Saiyan God Goku, and is like stronger than him and forces him into blue. So she'd probably be like at least here. Yeah. She would wedge in between their beam that needs 2 Super Saiyan blues and where they're kicking him around in base, so. Kefla as a Super Saiyan then. What is it? Kefla as a Super Saiyan kicks Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku with something that is, quote, stronger than the Spirit Bomb, and forces Goku's body to catalyst himself into Omen. Caulifla then goes Super Saiyan 2 and is like actually stronger than this Goku. She just can't hit him. And just gets like out-ringed and out-haxed, I guess, by Goku. Just get brawled. Now Android 18 scales to like Super Saiyan Vegeta at this point, so she'd probably scale higher than these guys who are like, getting kicked around by base. The cliff between this Goku Black and this Vegito just might honestly be big enough for Super Saiyan Goku to be stronger at this point. Because they were already getting beat up by Zamasu and then got like a fusion level increase before going Vegito, who goes blue, which is like a fusion level increase. So honestly, I don't have any problems with 18 being this high, and saying Krillin is stronger than her. Piccolo in the Tournament of Power is able to keep up with like base Gohan, and base Gohan, before he activates his aura, isn't that much weaker, but it is still considered a transformation. But the Gohan that Piccolo was bodying would at least be up here. Not to mention that Piccolo, even earlier in Tournament 6, was pretty confident that his special beam cannon could have killed, or not killed, but at least hurt Frost. So it's not infinitely weaker. We'll get back to him as we put Gohan on here. Dispo was putting in work against Hit, and Hit had to start like adapting again mid-fight. So that's where Dispo would go. Alright, Gohan in the Tournament of Power scales to Blue Goku. But this Blue Goku can still go Kaioken, so it'd be like more like here. And then Piccolo just scales vaguely down from this Gohan. If this is what 2 blues are like, then it means Gohan would be here, Piccolo would be here. Then this is like Super Saiyan God, and this is Super Saiyan. And this is like base. And then this is super vague, suppressed, unquantifiable blue. Dispo in Super Speed mode is actually significantly faster and is able to like beat up this Gohan. No, Dispo... Yeah, that's right. Dispo got his ass beat by Hit. It's been a while since I watched the tournament, I'm sorry. Dispo gets his ass beat by Hit, then activates Speed mode, and then Hit has trouble with him. So, it wouldn't also be that bad for Gohan to be kind of around here, because we know that Golden Frieza and Gohan had to work together to get rid of Super Speed mode Dispo. So that's not too bad. But Dispo actually in base is like kind of shook by like base Frieza. So it kind of makes sense for Dispo to be more down here with like Piccolo. Topo similarly is just in a lot of statements stronger than Dispo. And has some like funky feats, we'll get back to him. Frieza outdoes Gohan in that fight, and then goes on to have feats against Topo and Jiren. Is probably stronger than this, but is at least stronger than Gohan and this Dispo. Actually, by how much Dispo was like shook of base Frieza, it's probably more like this. Because base Frieza is weaker than base Goku. So being, yeah, honestly. Speed mode is actually just like an insane mode. The Vegeta that fought Jiren. So yeah, this Vegeta's just like here. Belmod. He's hyped up more than Champa is by the time that the tournament comes around. That's all we can say. The final flash that he sent out against Jiren, though, is like actually implied to be stronger than Spirit Bomb. And it's considered like almost a limit breaking power. Jiren is like more shook about the final flash than anything else the entire tournament, like more than Omen 1 or Hit. So it's honestly not that bad to just put this Vegeta here. Not to mention Belmod was kind of shook about it, so if you want to downplay the gods, you can put Belmod down here. The gods are just kind of portrayed to be more relative, though. So it's not too strong either way. God of Destruction Toppo comes out and is able to force this Vegeta Blue evolution to its like absolute utmost. This Toppo comes out and is stronger than Gohan. That was pretty blatant in their fight. Stronger than Golden Frieza. And was stronger individually than 17, who can like swap with this Vegeta. But was still having trouble with all of them. So he should at least be stronger than Dispo. And considering the trouble Dispo was giving Hit, he would probably be more okay here. Omen 3 comes out. Surpasses the gods. He was beating Jiren. Then Jiren got extremely tilted. And Goku still beat his ass. So. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I hate it here, dog. Okay, 17 had a lot of trouble with Toppo, but could still fight on par with Vegeta Blue Evolution against Jiren. Which leads into the idea that Vegeta, when he fought Jiren after Toppo, was just way more fatigued. This actually makes a lot of sense, as otherwise 17 is stronger than someone he was having trouble with before. You can also just make the argument 17 got stronger as the tournament went on, which is perfectly fine. Which kind of gets into this. I hate it here. I hate it here so much, dog. That's, you know what? This is why Goku is my man. This is why Goku is my GOAT. So Goku outdoes Android 17 against Jiren at the final battle. The literal final battle, the final clash. 17 is an android and is not capable of getting fatigued or tired, so it just means Goku and base when he fights Jiren is just stronger than Blue Evolution Vegeta. I love it here. Now this is kind of where we get into a lot of contradictions, though, because this Goku gets stronger and still thinks that someone stronger than him is stronger than Beerus. So we'll kind of reorganize it as we go along. This is not finalized at all. Broly and Base comes in and is able to fight this Goku and force this Goku into using higher transformations. Vegeta is just shown to be exactly as strong as Goku. Goku is going to go above him, though, because there's a weird feat where Vegeta in, like, Super Saiyan God is struggling with Broly, and then Goku comes in base and starts fighting him. So, Goku could just be absolutely swole in that movie. Golden Frieza does better than both of them against Broly. Broly comes out and is, like, super roided out. Gogeta does better than Golden Frieza against Broly, but still had to pull out Blue. Okay, now we're just a manga. Okay, so we need to readjust this. Okay, so the argument is UI, Omen, Goku 3, and Jiren, like base, are stronger than the Gods of Destruction. Then it gets into Broly as a full power Super Saiyan might be, and then Jiren and Goku in their like full states just cliff the gods. So, it's really weird. The stuff about Broly might surpass Beerus either implies that Beerus got stronger after the tournament, or that it's contradicted by the series because it's just promotional hype, and that Broly is much stronger than the gods. Personally, I think that makes more sense. They just always try to hype up promotional stuff way too much. But in this case, it makes Broly weaker instead of stronger because they don't understand their series from a power scaling perspective. Because the Super Riders are a joke, but yeah. So I'm just gonna go with Broly is absolutely swole. Jiren and Goku are massively, massively swole. I think that this Goku being around here is fine. I'm trying to look and see if there's anything wrong with this. Anything too wrong. Because, like, this Goku versus this Vegeta is actually interesting. This Broly versus this Jiren. I'd probably put it more like that. TBH. Yeah, I think this is what we're going to stick with. Manga time! Haven't read the manga. Manga. Supreme Kai seems to be trash. Moro, when he absorbed 7-3, is weaker than Beerus. Then he got stronger when he fused with the Earth. That Goku's stronger than him. Granola's the next strongest threat in the arc. Goku was able to master his MUI and was stronger than Goku. This Goku is temporary, so the strongest in the universe doesn't apply to him. Vegeta and Ultra Ego comes out and starts outdoing this Vegeta or Goku against Granola. Gas comes out and surpasses that. Beerus in the manga is just explicitly stated to have gotten stronger and trained. That's the manga. Goku. And we'll make it like orange for Goku. Oob in the anime is just stated to be stronger than Kid Buu. In the manga, it's stated that he has like the power of the Supreme Kai, which is stronger than a Buu who was fighting Moro that could body Omen Goku and Evolution Vegeta, or at least their blue forms. Which means that Oob would at least go like here. And Goku is just going to be the strongest. I've got no doubts in my heart about that. So this was every Dragon Ball character ever. I don't know how to read. I am a real Dragon Ball fan. Dragon Ball fans don't know how to read. Okay. So this is the video. I can't stress enough, I love that this video is shorter than Naruto Part 1. Because the scaling is so much more direct, even though there's more characters. I love it. God, TOP are really contentious. A lot of this could move around depending on certain statements you take seriously or not. The top layer of Super is a little funky, but other than that, the rest of this is pretty how it is. Especially the power levels we started with at the beginning, so. But yeah. Dude, my voice is gone. I've talked too much. I mean, this is it's just arguments about, like, a specific statement. That's the only reason you can argue with this list, so I don't really care. Goku is an extremely underrated character. Goku is goated. Goku is written extremely well. Extremely interesting. I think that Super kind of harms him a little bit, but I think that up to the Buu Saga, Goku is one of the more surprisingly nuanced characters in Shonen. He's very compelling. He's very likable. And very well written. I think Vegeta's a little overrated. I think that Piccolo kind of did it first, and then Vegeta just did it a little bit better. So 17 is obviously a fan favorite now. I actually like both Broly's about the same, TBH. They both do different things. And Gogeta is my fusion. So those are like my Dragon Ball hot takes. Oh, Black Frieza is extremely goated, by the way. Or Frieza Black. I don't know the right way to say that. But Black Frieza is extremely goated. And, Budokai Tenkaichi 4, man! I'm so fucking hyped. That's why I made this. That's why I wanted to do this. Because, like, I'm so ready for BT4. You don't know how much it means to me, man. Dude, every single character on this tier list better be in fucking BT4, or else it's not a real BT. Anyways, this video's gone on too long. Bye.